Byron. Let's talk about the poem She Walks in Beauty by Lord Byron. She Walks in Beauty by Lord Byron is a romantic poem, a lyrical poem, as well as a panegyric poem. For the sake of your exam, please take notes. The poem is not only a romantic poem, it's not only a panegyric, but also a what? A lyrical poem. Take notes. Your examiner will ask you what type of poem is Lord Byron's She Walks in Beauty. I have told you before now, there are some questions that are tradition in literature, especially in poetry. Your examiner will ask you, there are some questions that are we call them traditional questions. Take notes, don't forget. If I were to be your examiner, I am asked to give some questions on this poem. These are some of the questions I will never forget to ask you. We call them traditional questions in literature. Alright, first they will ask you what type of poem is this. Secondly, they will ask you what is the tone of the speaker. They will ask you what is the mood of the speaker. They will ask you for the theme, the major theme of the poem. They will ask you for the major figures of speech used in the poem. They will ask for the setting of the poem. They might even ask for the attitude of the speaker. Are we together now? Please take note. So let's talk about this poem, She Walks in Beauty by Lord Byron. Alright, now we said that She Walks in Beauty by Lord Byron is a romantic poem. We are told that romantic poems, they talk about the beauty and the sacredness of nature. Romantic poems, these are the type of poem that talks about the beauty and the sacredness of what? Of nature. Now, She Walks in Beauty as a romantic poem. The author tries to what? To eulogize nature and using this woman as an element of nature which he described as night. He compared this woman's beauty to what? To night. The beauty of this woman is natural. For this reason, this poet had to compare her to the night. Now he tries to bring out the beauty that he has seen in nature, which is exhibited in what? In night. Are we talking now? So the poem, we were told that the poet addressed a lady whose name was unknown in the poem. Are we talking now? She Walks in Beauty. The lady addressed now is unmentioned, even though some scholars has it. The poet was inspired by a lady's beauty whose name is Annie Beatrice Wilmot, who happens to be the wife of Byron's first cousin, Robert Wilmot. History has it that he went to a particular party where he saw this woman, and the following day this poem was written. Are we talking now? Now the poem was talking about the beauty inherited, exhibited by who? By this particular lady's beauty. She is described as a beautiful lady. In the first stanza, the poet persona compared the lady to a night rather than day, telling us how beautiful this particular woman is and everything that this woman possesses. The writer or the poet was not just talking about this woman's beauty outwardly. He also went ahead far as describing this lady's inner beauty. He said that the beauty is not only outwardly, the beauty is also what? Inwardly. Are we talking now? The poet talks about her smiles and everything that the looks hold so dear. Are we talking now? So he did not only stop there, he went to the second stanza where he told us that this beauty's lady as described. He told us in the 7th and 8th line that if this God who created this woman had dared to remove or add anything to this creation, the creation would have been entirely messed up. It would have been useless or what? Or null and void. One shade the more, one ray the less, and have impaired the nameless grace. That was what he was saying in this particular stanza, where he was telling us that if God had removed anything from this lady's creation, the brightness, or added anything to any other thing to this lady's creation, all his creation would have been what? Would have been messed up. because the woman is balanced exactly the way she is, both outward appearance and inward appearance. She is what? She is perfect. Even in the last stanza, the poem posited that the smile on the lady's face tell everything that has to do with this lady. Are we talking now? The poem posited that both the outward looks, the smile, the blushes in her face is extraordinary. Are we talking now? So these are some of the reasons why we can, however, describe this poem as not only a lyrical poem but also a panegyric poem. The poem heightened the level of the intensity of the lady's beauty. Are we talking now? So this is the general backdrop of the poem, She Walks in Beauty. Are we talking now? The author did not only stop there, he made concerted effort to using some literary devices, which includes the figures of speech, imagery, rhyme scheme, simile, personification, hyperbole, assonance, alliteration, personification, and many other figures of speech, allusion, symbolism, and many other figures of speech that makes this particular poem interesting as well as beautiful. He also made use of imagery, which we tag as visual imagery. Your examiner will ask you, what is the dominant imagery used in this poem? The dominant imagery is visual. The dominant imagery is what? Visual imagery. The looks, the beauty, and the rest of them inhabited in this particular woman is an example of what? Of visual imagery. Are we talking now? The use of antithesis also is very important in this poem. He used the dark and bright as an example of antithesis. One shade the more, one ray the less is also an example of antithesis. She walks in beauty like light is also an example of simile used here. Take note. The smiles that win is also a good example of personification. The smiles that win is also a good example of personification. Take note. Their dwelling place is a good example of metaphor. Their dwelling place is a good example of metaphor. Raven trees as used in the poem is also a good example of metaphor. Raven trees, metaphor. Dwelling place, metaphor. Are we together now? Now we said the dominant literary device, the dominant figure of speech used here is metaphor. In case you did not see metaphor, you will see symbolism. Please take note. Symbolism and metaphor can be used synonymously in most cases. Please take note. Symbolism and metaphor can be used synonymously in most cases. A care should be what? Care should be taken. The setting of this poem is in a social gathering. The setting of this poem is in a social gathering. Some of the very important themes of this poem. Number one, first and foremost, love, nature, and beauty, or the beauty of nature in general. Alright, if they ask for the dominant theme of the poem, you will tell them that the dominant theme of the poem is the beauty of what? Of nature, or nature and beauty. Are we together now? There is also a theme of perfection. There is also a theme of perfection. There is theme of harmony of the body and mind. The theme of harmony of the body and what? And mind. These are some of the themes that are used in this poem. Take note, the poem in general is a romantic poem. Not just a romantic poem, a lyrical poem, as well as a panegyric. The poet highlighting, eulogizes or praises the beauty that is associated with nature, using the night, which is symbolic in regards to this particular woman described in this poem. Are we together now? Please take note. Your examiner will ask you, what type of poem is this? You will tell your examiner that the poem is not only romantic, the poem is also panegyric as well as lyrical. Your examiner will pick one from these three. Care should be taken. Don't disappoint me. Care should be what? Taken. If they ask for the dominant theme, you will tell them that the dominant theme is love and nature, beauty and nature. Are we together now? Love, nature, and beauty. This is the dominant theme of the poem. The dominant literary device or figure of speech used in this poem is the use of symbolism or metaphor. The two of them can be used synonymously. Your examiner will not put the two together, but if the two are put together, care should be taken If your examiner asks for the literary device, you will tell them that it is symbolism. But if they ask for figure of speech, you will tell them that it's metaphor. I believe you have gotten something from this particular explanation. If you are just joining me, I am still Mr. Osaro, aka Pure Pass. Alright, please click the like button, comment, share, and let others benefit. Alright.